Hi, my name is Eugene, and today I'm going to tell you why I think you should buy your curtains from us, Swags Galore. It wasn't too long ago, probably about 13 years ago, my wife and I, we purchased our second home. And at the time, the internet was still finding itself. There was no high speed, it was still dial-up at the time. And my wife had computer skills, so we buy this center hall colonial, and of course she wanted to dress the windows. There were skaty windows in the house, and you know, we kind of extended ourselves at the time, so we didn't have a lot of money or resources to do that. So she went to the fabric store, bought bulks of fabric, and she didn't know how to iron. She didn't know how to sew, so she bought iron hems, and she hemmed, and she did all scarf panels around all the windows. Lots of layers, which at the higher retail brick and mortar stores would have cost hundreds, even thousands of dollars. We didn't have the money at the time, not that we do now. So the story goes, and I always tell it when we're having a couple drinks around the dinner table with friends, that you know, I'm in the car, I'm in the garage working on my hot rods, and my wife comes in, dinner's ready. I say 5 more minutes. Half hour later, she opens the door, dinner's ready. 5 more minutes. Always 5 more minutes. One day she walks in and she says, I'm going to start my own hobby. And I looked at her, crawl out from under the car, I look at her and say, what do you mean hobby? She says, I'm going to sell curtains online. Now you got to remember, this is 1998, 1999. No high speed, internet is as slow as could be, nobody's selling nothing online. Certainly not curtains. And I promise you, nobody was selling curtains online in 1999. So I look at her, and all I want to do is crawl back under the car. And I say, Melinda, knock yourself out. Just hoping that she's going to close the door so I can get back under the car. So, go back under the car. 2 months later, she opens the door. She said, I sold a curtain. I'm back from out of the car. And I said, well, what do you mean you sold the curtain? She says, well, I sold a curtain. I said, well, how'd you do that? She said, don't you remember 2 months ago I opened the door and I told you I was going to start selling curtains? And I said, yeah. And she says, well, I sold one. I said, well, how can you sell a curtain? You don't have no curtains. So she says, well, I'm going to go to the fabric store. I'm going to buy bulk fabric and I'm going to iron the hems. And I just looked at her as if to say, I just wanted to get back under the car. So, close the door, go back under the car. A week later, she opens the door again and she says, I sold 2 curtains. A week later, 3 curtains. A month later, 10 curtains. A week later, 100 curtains. And it just gets out of control. So we're working our regular jobs, 9 to 5. We're getting home at work. We're hemming curtains, folding curtains, putting inserts in packages and shipping stuff. And we're working at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Again, working out of the house. Because this started as a hobby. But it just mushroomed and it snowballed and mushroomed and snowballed out of control. To the point that one day I came home and there were 13 pallets of curtain rods sitting on my driveway. And I was like, I had a coronary because I'm thinking about where am I going to put 13 pallets of curtain rods. My neighbors are peeking out their windows saying, what's going on in that house? And so there's no place to put them in the house because the house is just overcome with curtains. So I put them in the garage. Now I got the hot rods in the garage. I don't like stuff next to my hot rods. So I'm really concerned about that. I Melinda down, I said, listen, something's got to give here. She says, what do you mean something's got to give? So I said, the house is overwhelmed. We can't do this no longer. We're working at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, plus our regular jobs. We have no more time. I can't do this no more. We weren't drawing a salary at the time. We were funneling money back into the business. So it was going on for a year, year and a half at this time, and we weren't making no money. Just putting money back into the business, and that gets very discouraging over the course of time. So she says, well, quit your job and let's rent a warehouse. And I said, what do you mean quit my job? I can't quit my job. She says, well, we got to do that. That's the next leg of the journey. So I quit my job. And we get a little 1,500 square foot warehouse. And at the time, we were in Yaphank, New York, which is in eastern Long Island. And within a year's time, we outgrew the 1,500 foot for a 3,000 foot square house. And we outgrew that very quick. And I had stuff stacked on top of stuff and stacked of stuff. And again, we weren't shipping 10 orders a day now. I was shipping 50, 100, 200 orders a day. Hundreds of curtains were going out. And Melinda eventually quit her job, so her and I were just doing the curtain thing. And we made a decision in 2005 to move the business to Pennsylvania. And we built a house in Lake Wallenpaupack on the lake, and we bought a piece of commercial property on 590 in Lakeville, PA, and we had a pre-engineered building built there, 9,000 square foot. Actually, it was 7,000. And that became our first home, the current home. I say first because we had an addition added on to that. And within a matter of 1 year after moving to Pennsylvania in 2007, it took 2 years for the construction of the home and the warehouse from 2005, 2007, we moved here, moved the business, and the business just took another spike because now we were just concentrating on the business. We had a facilitation, we had a distribution center, we built another 3,000 square foot extension on the warehouse, and there's another one in the works right now, and we became curtain people. So it's a kind of interesting story. So I guess my point behind the story is that, you know, we didn't know how to do this 15 years ago. We kind of learned as we went. We weren't curtain people, and I'd like to think that we are curtain people now.